You see? I do this every time. All my YouTube videos are just months between. But it's Sunday. I'm sitting here in my living room and my dog saw me on my computer. Hi, baby! And he like put his head up right here to like see what I was doing. So I was like, oh, let's take pictures. As soon as I start taking pictures, he doesn't want to be here and see what I'm doing anymore. I'm eating candy corn and sodi. And if you can't hear, I'm watching Hassan on stream. And I really want to start streaming, honestly, because the editing is a lot. Like for YouTube videos, God, I love YouTube. Okay, I'll go into that. The editing, hush, Hassan. Hush. The editing for YouTube videos takes so long, and I feel like I already use most of my time to edit my own TikToks and then to do my, I guess, like reels. I don't really do TikToks for work. I'm supposed to do like the reels and stuff for work that like when it comes to YouTube, I forget, or I just don't film like this way. I film this way all the time. So it's pointless. So the editing is just like who has the time? YouTube is always on the back burner. I want to stream so badly on Twitch, but I also have kids that I don't put on camera. So that sucks. So yes, I can do it when they're at school, but like who's gonna film me walking around? Do I just sit on the computer? And then that's another thing. If I'm streaming, I should be working. And then even if I'm like, all right, well, I worked and now I'm gonna be on stream, I feel like, I don't know, maybe my coworkers or my boss will see me on live streaming being like, she could literally be working right now. What is she doing? I feel like I'm going to get fired if I'm like actively online doing things that aren't work. It's only part-time, but still, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I really want to like start streaming when I'm in Germany because I feel like that'll be really cool. So what I was going to say was I finally got my very first check from YouTube, which sounds crazy because I've had YouTube for like 15 years. I've been posting on and off for 15 years. Yeah, since I was like, I think since I was like 15 or 14, something like that. And they had monetization for like small channels. I remember it was like 2011, maybe like around October 2011, I got a notification that was like, hey, yeah, you're eligible for monetization. And I think it was because of that one video. It's not public on my page. I should make it public. It's embarrassing, but it was like how to get out of school for a day. And I was telling people to basically like pretend that like you have diarrhea. And that got a lot of views and I made money off of that, but I only made like $50, right? And then they said on there that, oh my God, you're so quiet. And then they said on there that you have to make $100 before taking the money out. And then I want to say like 5 years later, they changed the requirements to now like I wasn't monetized anymore. So like
Don't
you had
forget to take out your trash cans.
Alexa, stop.
So then smaller channels that didn't have like active new views and stuff like that fell out of the monetization program and needed to like requalify. So I was like, that's not happening. It just never happened. And I was like, oh, you registered?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Skylar registered for a 5K with me. Are you doing the 5K or the half?
What's up?
Are you doing the 5K or the half?
The half.
Oh, you're doing the half marathon? You're doing the half marathon?
Yeah.
You're crazy. But at least the kids and I can watch you when you do that. I think it all starts at the same time and then I just end and you keep going. Anyway, I didn't requalify and I was like, where the fuck is that money? I guess I'm never getting it unless I like get the subscribers and views and all that to get back in the program and then add to that. Well, I was like, you know what? I need my money because I was like so broke. I looked at my Google AdSense account and it said like paid out to Missouri. And I was like, paid out? Like no one's ever paid me for it. What are you talking about? So then it said like to Missouri treasurer or something like that. I'm like, wait a minute. So I looked up unclaimed property in Missouri, and there it was just sitting there. It was only like $50. And so I like proved that it was me, and then they sent me the $50 check. So if you are like, whatever happened to that money, just go check unclaimed property for any states you've lived in. We're moving here soon, but before we leave, we're going to do a run. I've been doing 5Ks. I want to do another 10K just because I've done one before. And I know people will say like, oh, it still counts, like if you stop to walk for a little bit of it. And I was like, no, it doesn't count. Like in my brain, because I always sucked at running, in my brain it's like, no, it doesn't count if I stop to walk and then run again. So I completed a 10K, but not in my brain. I'm like, no, I didn't. So I want to do a 10K again, because the last one I did was like a year ago. But the ones that they're having on base, it's cheap. It's only like $20. There's a half marathon, a 5K, and a 1K. I was like, damn, they need to do a 10K, because the jump from 5K to a half marathon is like 10 miles. So I'm not doing the half marathon. I'm going to do the 5K, but Skylar's going to do the half. Hold on. Hassan is talking about Candace's Insta story. Okay, Hassan is watching Candace, I want to say Candace Cameron, Candace Owens' Instagram story. And of course it's her with like Charlie Kirk, because he died recently. And then I was like, duh, they were best friends. Like, I forgot. I guess a lot of people didn't know who he was or who she was for a long time. But like in 2015, 2016, when I was living in Missouri, that's when I discovered like all of these people, right? And I remember, I want to say it was around the time of like Kanye West coming out as a Trump supporter. Like from what? Like 2015 to like 2019, somewhere on that timeline, didn't like Kanye like plucked both of them as his little supporters, and they were like all. That's why Charlie had on Yeezys at the debate with Hassan in 2018 at Politicon. And then there's like a photo, like a paparazzi photo of Kanye West with Candace and Charlie. So weird. I mean, whatever, right? But I was just like, I totally forgot about that. Like when he came out as a Trump supporter and he was acting crazy at TMZ, like Candace and Charlie were his little like minions at the time. And I feel like that is what made them get closer, because everyone is saying like, oh, her posts were like more sincere and like distraught than his wife. I could see that, but I'm like, damn, I didn't realize like how many background, like not background, but behind the scenes videos they had together. And then I don't know, there's like a text message going around, like him saying, oh yeah, I met the guy, he's great, about her boyfriend, who I think is her husband now. And she says something about like, yeah, he'd proudly stand by me and not hide, something like that. And people are saying that they think that Candace and Charlie were like attracted to each other at one point or something like that. And that was a hint, like, he'll publicly like be with me. I don't know. It's all crazy. I'm really fucking annoyed with people who like didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was until the past like few years, just because of TikTok. I have a history of talking shit to him and about him for at least like 7 to 8 years, maybe the past decade. It's just so, ugh. It's like I get more offended when people call me a liberal, because these people that are irritating me right now are liberals. And they're like, you know, we shouldn't be sad that a Klansman got unalived at a Klan rally. Like, fuck off, losers. Like, oh, these children are without their dad. First of all, like, your dad is still living and you choose not to speak to him because he's a terrible person, right? Understandable. If he's a terrible person, you don't have to talk to him. You shouldn't be forced to talk to him, right? You shouldn't be forced. No one should be like, oh my God, that's your dad though. Like, embrace him. He's your dad. Like, he must be a good person. No, because bad people are capable of having children. So why the fuck should I care that a bad person is no longer around to spew poison into his children's brains? I don't care. He also didn't like fatherless people. And he also didn't like unmarried women. He didn't like single mothers at all. So like all the people who were like trying to have empathy for him, they fit all the criteria of what Charlie Kirk hated and spoke out against. Oh my gosh. And I will talk about this more on TikTok, but I posted a video. A lot of the reason I don't post on here is because I fucking post on TikTok. Anytime I have something to talk about, I just get on TikTok, and then those videos are shorter. I can't post them on here because they're like this way, and I don't want to do shorts. And okay, so I made a TikTok inviting people because I'm a mayor for some communities on base over here, and the housing people were throwing together a block party, right? So they wanted the mayors to get people to go. Okay, so I did that. I said, is it okay if I post it on my personal? They're like, yeah. I posted on my personal. A lot of people responded. There was like a decent turnout. I went. But I looked at the flyer because I was like, you're joking. Because this happened a few years ago where they're like, oh, we're throwing like a little block party in the neighborhood. But I saw it was like being thrown by Mormons. And I was like, what the fuck? No. Like, that's weird. Why are they even allowing that on base? Anyway, the flyer was just normal. It just had like, these communities are going to be here, serving things, donating things, whatever. I get there, and why are all the damn Mormon elders with their elder name tag out there serving food? And I mean, like, that's great if they're the ones who were donating food, which they probably were. The Mormon church has a shit ton of money. But it's just so, like, it just feels so slimy. It feels like I was out there promoting this event, like a religious event. And, like, I'm a new agnostic, okay? I've been agnostic for 2 weeks now. And so it feels so, like, it's a weird feeling where it's like, yes, it's very nice. I love community. But I saw a whole lot of Bermuda shorts and a whole lot of, like, shirts on women that, like, you know, are there to, like, hide their undergarments. I mean, that's weird to say. Isn't that what they call their garments, right? Undergarment sounds weird, but their garments, you know? And I'm just like, is this low-key, like, religious propaganda or, like, Mormon propaganda? That's what it felt like. Because every person who was serving that had a name tag, their name tag was, like, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I'm like, I grew up in like a low-key like Mormon little community, and I was like, I mean, they're nice, but I just get this weird like culty vibe, which it is a cult. That and the Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know. I was just like, damn, like, fuck. People from online who follow me were going to that event, and I don't want them to think that I'm like tricking them into like being saved or something, you know? I don't know. That was weird. Because even if I was still a Christian, I wouldn't have been promoting some like Mormon event. I don't know. I hate that. Like, and it's on base. It's an event thrown on base from housing people. And I'm like, why the fuck is it connected to the Mormon church? Like, that's weird to me. Unless like the chaplain is Mormon and it was advertised that like the chaplain of this denomination was going to be there or something. It just feels so shady. I don't know. And there were, what are they called? Mormon missionaries there serving I think snow cones. It was a wee bit odd.